Hello, good morning. Good morning, everybody. This is High Priestess Jamila. How are y'all doing on this beautiful Wednesday morning? So, Spirit woke me up this morning. And I had gotten, I guess, some downloads or something. They call them downloads. I had gotten some in my sleep because I think what time I go to bed. I went to bed about midnight and got quite a bit of information. And what Spirit led me to talk about this morning is that your enemy does not have to be rich or hold any kind of position of power to negatively affect you. I'm talking about when it comes to witchcraft. Okay. So if you guys need to reach me for work, all of the links are below and all of my contact information is below because a lot of y'all have a hidden silent enemy. And a lot of y'all will think that just because a person doesn't have $1 million mansion, a lot of y'all will think just because a person, doesn't have a bunch of belongings or they could even be homeless. Okay. Your enemy can be a homeless person. Homeless people have access to the internet through their phones. They can go to McDonald's and that enemy can do work on you. Don't be so cocky to where you forget and don't be sleep on these silent but deadly enemies. Okay. Typically, an enemy like that, they don't want much out of life. They're jealous. They're throwing the evil eye at you because they're jealous. And there are some people that have nothing else better to do and they don't want to do anything else except for sit around and meditate and attack people spiritually. Okay. I have a couple that every month at the new moon and the full moon, I have to bind them and do reversals because they can wreak a lot of havoc in my life. And they don't have to have access to a lot of spiritual supplies. Some people can just do things with their mind. Some people can do things just by talking to their spirits, which is why you can't give up on whatever it is that you got going on. A lot of y'all, because your enemies, they ain't got nothing else better to do. People that dislike you, and they're not really your enemies. They're just people that how can I describe them? They're controlling. They project a lot of how they feel all the time onto you. But typically it's jealousy. It's going to be more common that this is going to be. Now, when you're looking at your list of people, okay, that may be throwing stuff at you, you got to look to the disadvantaged first. And I'm talking about people that don't even have a roof over their head. There are some people that are very crafty at creating destruction, but they're not manifestors or builders. Okay. So a lot of people say, well, how can that person ever do anything? They not powerful. So you go and you look to the person that you feel has the most power and you're judging that based upon what they have. But there's some people that don't want for much. There's some people that feel that houses and bills, because they look at it as being such a difficult task They look at it as a trap. Okay. For example, there's this homeless woman on YouTube that's obsessed with me, been obsessed with me, uh, has been obsessed with my children for years. Okay. I've never done anything to her, not responsible for the problems and the issues that she has in her life, but she is homeless. Okay. A lot of the things that I have subconsciously, she wants it, but the frontal lobe is probably malfunctioning in some kind of way. And so every month at the new moon or either the full moon, I have a list. I have a list of certain people that throw shit to me out of the blue. If my spirits feel that you are throwing stuff at me, they're going to throw it back. So every month I have to do spiritual maintenance because this person is still down and out. Also, another thing, mentally ill people, quit being sleep on them. They can still do spiritual work. They can bring in all kind of chaos and confusion into your life. And they will either be, outward with it, or they may do it silently. You know how people that are typically on an unrighteous path, they say, oh, I move in silence. Yeah, because you know that you ain't right. A lot of y'all women also need to quit always blaming men on your issues. Okay. There are plenty of evil witches. And you know why I think this one chick, her name is Raven. You know why I think this one chick attacks me so much? It's because she hates being a woman. She became obsessed with me because I have children and I love my children. And when you go and look at her channel, she regularly turns tricks, aborts the babies, and really evil about it too. Like she's been known around here for a while. And she don't like me at all. And I don't like her. She's a sworn enemy for life. So every month she gets that work done on her. Okay. She gets stuff, her stuff gets sent back. Sometimes your enemies, especially if it's long term, they'll leave a signature and you can tell that it's them. And so there's certain spirits that will come through and I'll be able to tell that it was her. And then of course others, but mainly her, because she doesn't have anything else better to do. And and you have to be woke, as she says, woke to that. Now, a lot of people will say, well, good, oh, God, she must be power. She must be powerful. Ooh, God. She's only powerful in destruction, destructive energy. That's it. Okay. So this is the reason why she can't really practice, really, because if you go to her, she'll bring nothing but bad juju into your life. So anybody that goes to her for work is probably looking for cheap work. They don't care much about their life. Or they may just they'll go to her to do their dirty work for them. Okay. They may be, woke to the type of person that we're talking about here. And there's lots of them, especially if you out in social media, and not just YouTube, all forms of social media. People like her that hate life. She hates families. She hates homes. She hates seeing other people successful. And you cannot focus necessarily on the empty cedars that because basically what will happen is that your enemy will send out these bad spirits and then they will afflict the people in your life. Okay, most people that are in a powerful position don't have to do things like that. People that are homeless, people that are struggling in life. For example, like I said, I've had quite a bit of trauma in my life. I choose to focus on the positive, which is the fact that I'm not living in that trauma anymore. Okay, I'm not living in that trauma. I'm a grown woman. I can, set my own reality. Everybody does not have that thought process because some people are cursed, especially if you're somebody that's cursed. Do not be sleep on that. A lot of people say, "Oh, you ain't nothing. You homeless and da 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 da." Those are some of the most dangerous people. And you don't have to get excited about it. Like people get way too excited. Just do your work. Okay? Just do the work and you'd be surprised. Okay, you can't really focus on the people like a lot of people will focus on the wrong person. You'll be wasting your time because some people they may want to do destructive magic, but they can't. Some people's spirits prevent them from doing that. But then you got some people that are very powerful in destruction. But what good does it bring to them when they're homeless, living in a car, and can't even take a damn shower? It's not going to do them any good. Okay. So there's a certain way that you have to deal with them, like when it comes to spell crafting and when it comes to reversals. There's a certain way you got to deal with them. But you'd be surprised. Think about that enemy that's doing dirt all bad. And it doesn't matter like what do they have to lose? They shouldn't be doing what they're doing in the first place, but they allow themselves to be a catalyst to just go out and randomly do harm to people, especially people that just randomly do harm to people with kids. Like, I don't respect people like that. And, these women sometimes that they're beyond feminism to the point where they hate being a woman. And women like that, you have to watch them. And it can be very difficult on you empaths because a lot of you guys can easily and quickly absorb that, which is why it's very important to have some sort of protection in place. And keep in mind, somebody like that, you'll only see the things that they do manifest probably every 6 months, once every 3 months, maybe. And depending on how woke you are to it, maybe once in a blue moon. Okay. But when their stuff does afflict you, it can have a very, very, very disastrous effect. Okay. The one thing that people don't understand is that magic will fix things and put them back into balance. Hey, Linda. Hello. How are you? When you reverse somebody's magic like that and that confusion, a lot of the confusion goes away. A lot of the negative things that have happened, they tend to sort of go back to normal very quickly. Okay. Now, if you have an enemy that doesn't show their face and that enemy sort of hides in the shadows, that is when you need to look through what they call a dark mirror to see them. Now, a lot of people will say, well, that seems very inconvenient. A lot of people will give up. They'll say, oh my God, this is BS. I keep having to do this or having to do that. For me, I've been doing it for 6 years, okay, straight. I've been doing it for 6 years straight. So for me, it's not that big of a deal, especially when it comes to protecting my children and my family, because I believe that people like that, excuse me, you guys. Okay, I'm back. I believe that people like that, whether or not you're in social media, whether or not you shut down, those people will continue to stay on you. And that's why I was saying that, you know, doing the reversal bindings can be, uh, it can be helpful. But I think that what a lot of people don't realize is that your enemy's name, okay? A lot of people say, well, what's in a name? There's a lot of power and energy within somebody's name. That's why you have to write their name down. Hold on, y'all. Some of y'all will say, well, Jamila, I don't want to go through this. I've never practiced witchcraft in my life. It doesn't matter. You might be a natural witch. Your life will be up and down and very unstable until you face it and do something about it. So a lot of y'all that are factually witches will have people throwing stuff at you, and you will have a refusal to either learn witchcraft or do witchcraft. Okay. And so you can't feel bad because you could potentially lose everything that you ever worked for. Your house, your cars, your children, your life, your sanity, your peace, your joy. And people like that typically fit a certain MO. They're just miserable. They have lost hope completely. Okay. They can't fit in with society or the witches. So they just pretty much, the things that you hold very special to you, they have some judgment for it. Okay. Especially you women with children. Women with children you have to be so careful out here with women that don't have children. Not all of them, but some of them. Okay. Because they'll look at you like, oh, look at her. She got them kids and I hate kids. And so people don't know how to just hate what they hate or be who they are without involving other people because, on some level they're lonely and they want a buddy and they want, misery loves company. You know what I'm saying? And so, especially when you're looking at some of these people in social media that don't really have uh they're just lost and scattered. There's no plan. And they hate this world. They hate being in this world. They can't find any way of coping with this world. Okay. So make sure that y'all pay attention to that today. Who is that person that is doing dirtball bad in life, that wants nothing, that hates you for whatever reason? They either hate or they judge you. Okay. And then get the work done on them and reverse it. You'd be surprised at how quickly things will just come into focus. Because what they'll do, I think the first thing that they work on is the subconscious. They start to work on your subconscious. That's what they do. And you can even feel it because you feel like what the hell? What is this? What is going on here? Uh-huh. And it'll be weird and strange, and they'll be real quiet about it. They may not even be saying nothing. Okay. Get you a reversal, bam. It's just it's like clear as day. And if you got somebody that won't stop throwing stuff at you, then you should probably do a binding on that person. Now, I use pictures for my bindings, and I've got quite a bit of reviews on my bindings. Uh, and I still do them for myself. You know what I'm saying? And I feel that something that literally, because it takes me all but 5 minutes to do a binding on somebody. You know, as a witchy business owner, it's worth it for me to do it. But a lot of, because I have to, it's maintenance. It's, I call it spiritual maintenance. Okay. And so people say, well, that person ain't got the power to do so and so. Well, there are a lot of people that are very crafty at destruction magic. Okay, destruction magic don't have nothing to do with somebody that is able to manifest something in the physical. All of y'all that are in your homes and you woke up in a bed, you woke up to running water to take a shower in. Everybody doesn't have either the mental or the spiritual capacity to manifest that. And hey Lotus, hello. So, and you know what? It's not that you have to hate them. The enemies that you have, you don't necessarily have to hate them. In fact, you don't want to feel that hatred. Just take care of your business, because they got a lot of hatred and a lot of anger. Just handle your business and keep it moving. Live within your peace and your joy and appreciate what you have, and you'd be surprised at how things will change for you. Okay, because people will try to mess up your law of attraction. People try to mess up your kids. People throw stuff at your children, especially women. Y'all got to, especially a lot of women. A lot of women, I'm going to tell y'all something about males. Males, they have power, but only if they're in a powerful position. And I'm talking about a powerful political position. So a lot of y'all that have random men doing that, you got to look to who is in the shadows, who is in the bushes. That's who you need to focus on. And they'll keep coming up in your readings over and over again, and you'll be kind of confused sometimes because they don't put that spirit of confusion on you. Okay. And I've been doing it for 6 years straight. I know what I'm talking about. And been doing very good for myself too. I'm giving myself a pat on the back for that. You know what I'd like to see? I got a couple of people lined up to get hex reversals. But I'd like to see y'all start taking the witchy classes. Okay. I'd like to start seeing y'all do that. Because I think that you would have a better quality of life if you learned basic witchcraft. You'd be surprised at how it would change you. And it's not just about having your own business. This is for those of you that have jobs. And it's a butterfly effect. So, for example, your enemies, their ripple effect will come through to you. It'll go to your children. It'll go to outside external people as well. And and I think that for me, I take full responsibility for it because I'm the owner of my company. I'm the owner of my business. Here's another thing, taking responsibility. You have to be responsible to be a successful witch. You can't be out here just nilly-willy, upset and emotional and confused. That means that somebody done put something on you. And the things that they put on you done cause so many problems and craziness. Y'all know I always say that I'm on the side of the woman, but typically I'm on the side of the woman that is family oriented, goal oriented, very ambitious, positive, especially if you have children and y'all know that the threat is out there of people that attack your children because of their own views on life. But they don't have the right to project their crap onto you. So that's why things like that will go back to that person very quickly. And they know it. Okay. Okay. I'll see y'all later. Have a happy Wednesday. You can contact me at the links below. Love and light, y'all.